In only 58 minutes, she dismantled the world #1. Not in a practice match, not in a dream, but on the biggest hard-court stage in the world at Indian Wells. And no one saw it coming. This is the story of Alexandra Eala, a 20-year-old Filipino girl who stepped into the arena known as the 5th Grand Slam, faced the most feared player in the world, and did more than just compete. Point by point, game after game, she broke her down until the crowd was no longer just watching tennis. They were witnessing something else. A moment that comes once in a generation. Every chapter of this story only gets better. So stay with us. To understand what happened at Indian Wells in March 2026, you have to go back to the beginning. It didn't start in the blazing California heat on a WTA 1000 hard court. It began in Manila. A shy, determined Filipina from a sporting family was learning how to turn raw potential into something that could shake the women's tennis world in the junior halls of the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca, Spain. In 2025, Alexandra Eala, known as Alex to her friends, was ranked 143rd in the world. Not in the headlines, not in conversations about the future of the sport. She was just another promising name on a long list. The kind of player experts notice, but don't fully believe in. Not yet. This is what they missed. Eala wasn't just developing, she was building. She was absorbing knowledge. She studied every loss, every tight match, every moment the game exposed a weakness. And one by one, quietly and carefully, she removed those flaws, laying down the technical foundation of a player who belonged at the top. Coached by Jean Bosch and sharpened over the years at the Rafa Nadal Academy, she simply needed an opportunity to prove it. That opportunity came in March 2025 in Miami. The WTA handed her a wild card, a player outside the top 130 given a golden chance to challenge the best in the world. Even now, it feels almost impossible to describe what she achieved without sounding unreal. She defeated Yulia Putintseva. Then she overcame reigning US Open champion Madison Keys. At that moment, the tennis world paused and paid attention. Next came Iga Swiatek, ranked #2 in the world, and Eala beat her in straight sets. Clean, confident, and in control. She became the first wild card in history to defeat 3 Grand Slam champions in straight sets at a single WTA tournament. Let that sink in. The first in the entire history of the WTA Tour. And she didn't stop there. She made history for the Philippines by reaching the semifinals of a WTA 1000 event. By March 31st, she became the first Filipino player to break into the WTA Top 100. In Guadalajara, she captured her first WTA 125 title. At the US Open, she made history again, becoming the first Filipino in the Open era to win a Grand Slam singles match. She started 2025 ranked 143rd in the world and ended the year at #50. Reflecting on the season, Eala wrote on Instagram, "My dreams have truly come to life." She added, "Looking back on this year and reliving these incredible moments is such a blessing. This season, and all the emotions that came with it, is a love letter to my family, friends, my team, everyone who has supported me throughout my tennis journey, and of course, baby Alex." This young woman had already achieved the unimaginable. So before Indian Wells 2026, the question was simple and intimidating. Could she do it again? What makes Indian Wells different from other WTA events? It's not just the prize money. It's more than the pristine blue courts and the desert backdrop. It's the atmosphere. Indian Wells feels like a grand slam. The crowds are massive. The pressure never fades. The best players in the world arrive with something to prove. And at the top of the 2026 draw, as expected, was the same name. A baseline game that had, at some point, dismantled every major champion of her era. A serve that echoed like thunder. Aryna Sabalenka, the world #1 from Belarus, was a dominant force at Indian Wells. She was the defending finalist. She had just completed a strong Australian Open run. She arrived in the California desert fully aware she was the undisputed leader of women's tennis. Then came Alex, ranked 32nd in the world after reaching the quarterfinals in Dubai. For the first time in her career, she entered Indian Wells as a seeded player. She had earned that spot. Just weeks earlier, she had defeated world #8 Jasmine Paolini in Dubai. She carried confidence, intensity, and the fearless hunger of someone who had tasted the big stage and wanted more. But here's the truth about Indian Wells. The draw doesn't care about your story. It doesn't care about your hunger. It matches you where it decides. And when the draw was revealed, there was a potential fourth-round clash between Eala and Sabalenka. Analysts brushed it off with a smile. Bookmakers barely reacted. Sabalenka was the favorite. She was always the favorite. One analyst mentioned before the tournament that Alexandra Eala could be a dangerous floater. She was 4-4 against the top 20 and 2-2 against the top 10, and she didn't rely heavily on her serve. There's a ceiling. A real ceiling. Those 3 words were buried in an analytical column most people skimmed past. A quiet acknowledgement. None of the commentators, analysts, or even the most passionate members of the Filipino diaspora following Ayala's journey could have fully imagined what was about to unfold on that court. Those 3 words became the understatement of the entire tennis season. It happened so fast, so cleanly, and so ruthlessly efficient that the crowd struggled to process it in real time. Something that would be talked about for years. The match began in the California afternoon sun. From the opening game, it was clear Eala was different. Not nervous, not rigid, not fearful. There was an almost eerie calm about her. She stepped to the baseline with intent. From the very first returns, she disrupted the rhythm of the world #1, sending back Sabalenka's heavy, punishing serves with depth and precision. As always, Sabalenka tried to bully her way into control. Big serve. Crushing forehand. Push the opponent back. Force the error. It had broken so many players. In 2026, it was working against everyone else. But not today. Eala refused to retreat. She absorbed the pace, redirected it, and attacked the open spaces before Sabalenka could recover. Her aggressive mindset, quick movement, and stamina in long rallies allowed her to blend offense with patience. And on this afternoon, that balance was flawless. Before the crowd could settle into their seats, the first set was over. 6-2 Eala. The energy inside the stadium shifted immediately. A murmur moved through the stands, the sound a crowd makes when it realizes something special is unfolding. It began high in the upper tiers and rolled down toward the court. As the second set began, Eala didn't ease off. She wasn't waiting. She wasn't hoping Sabalenka would unravel under pressure. She dictated. She imposed her game on the #1 player in the world. Every return was a statement. Every passing shot a declaration. Thousands of Filipino supporters in the stands were on their feet, same kind of audience that had surrounded Eala in Manila and Dubai and made every competition she entered feel like a homecoming. The clock showed 58 minutes, 62 minutes, and 61 minutes as the final point was scored. Before the game seemed to have truly begun, it was over. The stadium erupted. There was a full-scale, thunderous outcry from thousands of spectators who had just witnessed a 20-year-old Filipino girl step onto the largest hardcourt outside a Grand Slam and dismantle the world #1 as she had done countless times before. There was no polite applause or golf clap for an upset. I lifted her arms. She briefly lost her composure as she looked up at the sky, not in sorrow or fear, but in sheer, unbelieving joy. Social media ignited within minutes. Not just in the Philippines, where the reaction was instant, widespread, and almost volcanic, but tennis fans worldwide who had followed Ayala's rise since Miami 2025 felt vindicated. Analysts who had once described her as limited but with potential were now reassessing their statements. Match clips were being posted and reposted by former champions. Hashtags appeared immediately. Even before the post-match press conference began, Alex Eala was trending in more than a dozen countries. Philippine sports writers were churning out reports as fast as their keyboards would allow after staying up all night to watch. Within the first hour, the term historic appeared in hundreds of headlines. Yet there was also a deeper conversation happening behind the celebrations, flags, noise, and pure joy of a nation seeing one of its own achieve the previously unimaginable. Eala wasn't the only one having a monumental day. This match made a statement. Performances like this shift perception rather than merely winning admiration. It completely reframed the debate about who should sit atop the sport, based on statistics before this match. In the past 12 months, Sabalenka had lost only a few games. In recent memory, she had beaten every major competitor at least once. Her forehand generated more power than almost any other female player on tour, and her serve often exceeded 180 km/h against a player making her Indian Wells debut who was not in the top 30. A straightforward victory was expected. Instead, a girl who had begun the previous year ranked 143rd in the world defeated her in less than an hour, by a girl who a year later had not only caught up but surpassed expectations. At the post-match press conference, Eala said something simple yet profound while maintaining the calm, composed demeanor that defines her. I have faith in myself. For a long time, I have had faith in myself. I just wanted everyone to see it. The girl who got lucky did not respond with those words, that quiet, unwavering conviction. That was the response of a future champion. At this point, we must step back from the commotion, celebrations, and viral videos to consider what this performance truly signifies for women's tennis as a whole. The next generation of players who might one day challenge Swiatek, Sabalenka, and Powell has been discussed for years. Names appeared and vanished. The grind of the tour consumed players once seen as the future. Careers that should have flourished ended under the weight of expectations alone. Potential is treated harshly in tennis, only results are rewarded. Since Miami 2025, Eala has performed consistently, not just in flashes, on a steady upward trajectory. She began 2025 ranked 147th and finished the season at a career-high 50th, becoming the highest-ranked Filipino tennis player in history. Across 27 events, she earned roughly $1 million in prize money. At the US Open, Wimbledon, and the French Open, she made history. Every Grand Slam main draw was a first, each seen as an opportunity rather than a privilege. Crucially, this distinguishes great players from good ones. Not once, but twice, she has beaten higher-ranked opponents: Swiatek, Powell, Ostapenko, Keys, and now Sabalenka. These are not flukes, they are patterns. After impressive showings in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Manila, Eala reached a career-high world ranking of 32, signaling that her momentum is accelerating. Consider this. She is 20 years old, in her first Indian Wells match, yet to reach a Grand Slam quarterfinal, and has not defended a major title. She is, by strict definition, a player on the rise. The Eala who defeated Sabalenka in 58 minutes is not the final version. This is only an early chapter. And this is not hype, not emotional projection from a nation in need of a hero, nor mindless nationalism. It is an objective assessment of the data, trajectory, and evidence of her achievements. Eala herself said, "The obvious answer, which has always been my answer, was to win slams and to be world number one." In an exclusive 2026 interview, those, in my opinion, are everyone's aspirations, and I consider myself ambitious. She said it plainly, without hesitation or arrogance. She knows her destination. Only the timing remains uncertain. 58 minutes. It took neither 10 years nor a lifetime of waiting. Alexandria changed the course of women's tennis and the history of an entire country in just 58 minutes on a blue hard court in the California desert. She entered the world ranked 32nd. After defeating the top player, she left, achieving it with poise, precision, and the calm certainty of someone who always knew this day would come, even when no one else did. The question we leave you with, if she can demolish the world number one in her very first Indian Wells appearance at the age of